She thought the Husky was jealous of the new baby. She had it completely backwards. The behavior started so gradually that for the first 2 weeks, Priya Chandrasekhar didn't register it as a behavior at all. She registered it as a series of small, slightly inconvenient events that individually didn't add up to anything. Nix was 4 years old, a Siberian Husky with a black and white coat and the particular brand of unsettling focus that Huskies apply to things they have decided matter. She had been a singularly consistent dog through Noah's first 7 weeks at home. Watchful but not intrusive. Curious but not demanding. She slept on the floor beside the bassinet. She moved through the house in the careful way of large dogs who have been taught, over years, that careful is how you survive in small spaces. The behavior, when Priya finally began to call it that, was this. Whenever someone held Noah on the left side of their body, which was how most people naturally held a baby weight on the right hip, baby cradled left, Nix would maneuver herself into the space between the person and the navy sofa. Not aggressively, not vocally. She would simply insert herself, gentle and deliberate. And the effect was that you either had to move, or you had to stand there with a Husky pressed against your left leg while you held the baby. Priya's mother, visiting from Chennai, thought the dog was jealous. She said so several times. Priya's husband, Dev, thought Nix was confused about her territory, now that the sofa had become a nursing station. Their neighbor, who had 2 dogs herself, said it might be because Noah smelled like formula and Nix was orienting toward the food smell. All of them were looking for an explanation that didn't require them to consider the other possibility. The other possibility arrived slowly. By week 3, Priya had started noticing that Nix's behavior was specific in a way that random jealousy or territorial confusion usually isn't. It wasn't every time someone held Noah. It was left side near the sofa. Specifically, left side hold in the kitchen. Nix present, attentive but not inserting. Left side hold on the sofa. Nix between them within 20 seconds. Right side hold anywhere. Nix watching from her usual spot on the floor. She mentioned it to Dev. He said, "That is specific." She said, "I know." They looked at each other. Neither of them said anything else. Week 4, Priya started testing it, deliberately holding Noah on the left while sitting on the sofa and watching what Nix did. The dog came, pressed against her left side, oriented her muzzle toward the area of Noah's chest, not toward his face. His chest, the left side of his chest. Priya moved Noah to her right. Nix pulled back, watched, settled. She filmed it. She watched the footage. She filmed it again. If you stay for stories about what animals sense before we do, you're in the right place. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Week 5, she called the pediatrician and described what she'd observed. She said, "I know this sounds like I'm reading too much into dog behavior." The pediatrician said, "Tell me what specifically the dog does." Priya told her. The pediatrician said, "Bring Noah in tomorrow. Not because I'm alarmed, because I want to listen to something." The stethoscope took less than a minute. The pediatrician listened to the left side of Noah's chest for a long time. She said, "I'm going to refer you to pediatric cardiology. Today, if I can." Noah was 7 weeks old. He had a small ventricular septal defect, a gap between the lower chambers of his heart, a condition present from birth, producing no external symptoms in a small baby living an ordinary life, producing nothing that would have flagged on a standard newborn screen. The kind of thing that might have gone undetected for months or years, depending on how the defect behaved as he grew, depending on what triggers it encountered, depending on whether anyone with the right instrument ever listened to the right side of his chest at the right time. or depending on whether a husky with an olfactory system tuned to something no pediatric screening tool currently measures, kept pressing herself between the left side of that baby's chest and the thing closest to it every time she got the chance. Has your dog ever done something that made no sense until it was the only thing that made sense? Tell us in the comments. These stories deserve to be heard. The pediatric cardiologist, Dr. Fatima Al-Hassan, told them in a small consultation room with a diagram of the heart on the wall that the defect was small and would likely close on its own over the next several years, and that Noah would need monitoring but not immediate intervention. She said it was fortunate it had been caught this early. Dev asked how it had been caught. Priya said, "The dog." Dr. Al-Hassan looked at them for a moment. She said that she had a colleague who did veterinary behavioral research and that the literature on dogs orienting toward cardiac irregularities in the people they were bonded to was more robust than most people knew. She said the heart produces specific chemical and acoustic signals that are detectable to an animal with the right combination of hearing sensitivity and olfactory range. She said that a dog pressing its muzzle toward the left side of a baby's chest and doing so consistently and specifically was not behavior she could explain by any territorial or jealousy framework. She said she knew something was in there. Every guardian deserves to be recognized, even the ones who never asked for anything in return. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe so you never miss the next one. Noah is 4 months old now. His defect is being monitored quarterly. His cardiologist says the trajectory is good. He sleeps in the same room as Nix, whose floor position has shifted. She no longer inserts herself between him and anyone. She sleeps near the bassinet the way she did in the beginning, settled, watching. Priya thinks about week 2, when her mother said jealousy and they all nodded, because jealousy was the word that ended the conversation. She thinks about how many times she moved the dog away from Noah's left side, without asking why the dog kept returning to it. She doesn't move Nix away from anything now, without at least considering, first, what the dog might be trying to say. The next story involves a dog who started waiting at the front window every morning, 2 weeks before the morning she actually needed to be there. Stay with us.